Rockets urged to pair Durant with former MVP after latest news. The injury that changed everything. The Houston Rockets were supposed to be one of the league's darlings heading into the 2025-26 NBA season. After years of rebuilding and stockpiling young talent, Houston shocked the basketball world in July by pulling off the blockbuster trade of the summer, acquiring Kevin Durant from the Phoenix Suns. Alongside all-star center Alperen Sengun, versatile forward Amen Thompson, and the ever-reliable Fred VanVleet, the Rockets seemed poised to leap from promising to truly dangerous. But in the cruelest twist of fate, those dreams have been shaken just weeks before opening night. Fred VanVleet, Houston's veteran floor general, finals champion, and locker room leader, tore his ACL. The devastating news spread quickly, confirmed by insiders like Shams Charania, and the reaction around the NBA was immediate. Houston's title chase just got infinitely more complicated. The Rockets didn't just lose their starting point guard. They lost the one steady hand capable of tying together Durant's scoring brilliance, Sengun's playmaking, and the athletic chaos of their wings. And with the team hard-capped at the first apron due to the Clint Capela sign and trade and the Durant acquisition, Houston is stuck. Until the 15th of December, they can't realistically add a proven veteran guard without blowing up their carefully balanced roster. Why VanVleet mattered more than box scores. To outsiders, VanVleet's 17 points and 7 assists per game might not look irreplaceable, but his true value in Houston went beyond numbers. He was the extension of head coach Ime Udoka on the floor, the voice that calmed Sengun when double teams came, the mentor who whispered advice to Amen Thompson, the one who could keep Kevin Durant from having to shoulder the full burden of creation. 2 years into his Rockets tenure, VanVleet had established himself as the cultural anchor of a team transitioning from rebuilders to contenders. His leadership wasn't loud, but it was consistent. He was the veteran who had been there before, who had helped Toronto win a championship, and who knew the grind of an 82-game season plus playoffs. Losing him is like removing the foundation beneath a skyscraper. The whole structure wobbles. The immediate fallout, Houston's thin guard room. So where does Houston turn? As of today, the Rockets' only natural point guards are Aaron Holiday, Reed Sheppard, and a makeshift version of Amen Thompson. That's a far cry from VanVleet's championship pedigree. Aaron Holiday, the journeyman guard, has carved out a niche as a steady backup, averaging 12 minutes last season. He's reliable, but has rarely been asked to orchestrate an offense for extended stretches. Suddenly, he might be logging 25 to 30 minutes a night. Reed Sheppard, the talented second-year guard with upside, but one whose NBA experience is still minimal. Thrusting him into a starting role could stunt his growth or expose weaknesses too early. Amen Thompson, the 6'7" athletic marvel, is more comfortable slashing and defending than running a half-court offense. Still, Udoka may have no choice but to hand him playmaking responsibilities and hope his natural instincts blossom under pressure. The problem? None of them combine VanVleet's steadiness with the ability to manage late-game possessions. And in the Western Conference gauntlet, that deficiency could prove fatal. Enter Russell Westbrook, the reunion narrative. Which brings us to the name that immediately jumped into the headlines, Russell Westbrook. Westbrook, now 36, is no longer the relentless triple-double machine who once defined the Oklahoma City Thunder, but he remains one of the league's fiercest competitors. Last season with Denver, he averaged 13 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds in a reduced role. He still plays with fire, still pushes the pace, and, most importantly, still has a history with Durant. Pairing Durant and Westbrook again, even a decade after their Thunder breakup, is tantalizing for fans. The narrative writes itself. Two former MVPs, reunited late in their careers, chasing one last ring together. For Westbrook, it's a chance to redeem his reputation as more than just a stat stuffer. For Durant, it's a chance to prove he can win without the perfect Golden State ecosystem. Bleacher Report and other outlets have already floated the idea Westbrook could either start until the 15th of December or serve as a spark plug off the bench. Either way, his presence would ease the burden on Houston's young guards and provide something the Rockets currently lack: experience in big playoff moments. The salary cap roadblock. But here's the catch. Houston can't simply sign Westbrook tomorrow. Because of their off-season moves, Durant's contract, Capela's deal, and a few re-signings, the Rockets are hard-capped at the first apron. That leaves them just $1.25 million of breathing room under the line, not nearly enough to bring in a veteran like Westbrook without moving salary out. And under NBA rules, many of Houston's trade-eligible contracts can't be touched until the 15th of December. In short, the Rockets are stuck. Unless they cut a minimum salary player or make an uncharacteristically bold trade, they'll be forced to ride out the first 2 months of the season with Holiday, Shepherd, and Thompson as their point guards. Other names in the mix. Westbrook isn't the only free agent linked to Houston. A few other veterans remain unsigned, each carrying their own baggage. Ben Simmons, once an All-NBA talent, now a mystery. If healthy, he could offer size and playmaking, but his shooting limitations are glaring. Monte Morris, a steady backup type, but not the kind of game-changer Houston really needs. Cameron Payne, an energetic spark plug, but inconsistent and undersized. None of these options inspire the same excitement as Westbrook, but they underline Houston's dilemma. There simply aren't many trustworthy guards available this late in the offseason. What Udoka might do instead, given the cap restrictions, Udoka will likely be forced to get creative. Possible adjustments include Durant as point forward. KD has quietly averaged 4 to 6 assists throughout his career. Expect him to initiate more sets, especially in crunch time. Sengun Hubafence, the Turkish center, has shades of Nikola Jokic as a passer. Houston may lean on him to create from the elbow and low post. Amen Thompson's trial by fire. Udoka has long praised Thompson's versatility. This could be the season he learns on the job as a lead guard. Point guard by committee, a rotation where Holiday handles the basics, Durant initiates sets, and Thompson pushes pace. It won't look traditional, but in a league increasingly driven by versatility, Houston might just find a workable formula. The West doesn't wait. Unfortunately, the Rockets don't get to experiment in a vacuum. The Western Conference is brutal. Nikola Jokic's Nuggets, Luka Doncic's Mavericks, Anthony Edwards' Timberwolves, and of course the Warriors and Lakers. Dropping games early could mean the difference between home court advantage and a play-in fight. Every night without VanVleet is costly, and every night without a steady guard solution inches Houston closer to wasted potential. History lessons. NBA history is littered with teams that lost their floor general at the wrong time. Some, like the 2019 Warriors, Durant and Thompson injuries, collapsed. Others, like the 1995 Rockets after Clyde Drexler's mid-season arrival, found a way to rally. Houston's hope is that their depth and Durant's leadership can keep them afloat long enough to survive until December, when roster flexibility returns. The human side. For VanVleet, the setback is crushing. At 31, recovering from a torn ACL is no small task. But if there's any player who embodies resilience, it's him. Undrafted, undersized, overlooked, and yet an NBA champion. His influence in the locker room will continue, even if his presence on the court won't. For Durant, it's a reminder that time is running out. He didn't come to Houston for another rebuild. He came for banners. And now, more than ever, his ability to elevate those around him will be tested. What comes next? Until the 15th of December, the Rockets' hands are tied. After that, all bets are off. Trades could open up. Buyout markets could present opportunities. And if Westbrook is still unsigned, the reunion may finally happen. For now, Houston faces a defining stretch, 2 months without their floor general, leaning on unproven guards, and hoping Durant's arrival can steady the ship rather than sink under the weight of expectation. As one Western Conference executive reportedly told The Athletic, if they can just stay above .500 until Christmas, they'll be fine. But if they stumble early, the West won't wait for them. It could bury them. And that's the reality for the Durant-era Rockets. The dream isn't over, but it's hanging by a thread, one that might just be held together by a 36-year-old Russell Westbrook.